Hello, everybody, and welcome to CultureCast. This is our bi-weekly podcast about what makes us us, and it's eXp Realty's official diversity, equity, and inclusion podcast. We have a very special topic today. We're talking about Hispanic Heritage Month, and I'm joined by the leadership of eXp Latino. I've got Rosie Rodriguez and Rebecca Soto here with me. Welcome, ladies.
Hey, everybody. Very excited to be here.
It's so cool to have you guys. It's finally we've got you on. So first off, let's just introduce ourselves a little bit. Rosie, why don't you go first? Tell us about who you are and what drew you to the calling of leadership for eXp Latino.
So, Rosie Rodriguez, and I've been in business for about 25 years. So I'm an agent just like everyone else, and team leader like some of us, who have taken on that role of wanting to develop and grow and create a culture and a community within eXp, which they give us an opportunity to do. And so currently serving as your president of eXp Latino. How that came about was out of that same culture that we had as a company, where as a company we were supporting a nonprofit organization, New Story, to build homes in Mexico. And they reached out and said if I would like to be involved in the fundraising of that. And, being able to contribute and give to poorer communities has always been something that's been near and dear. Home, family, it's what we're about. It's what we all do here in the company, in the industry. And so when we have an opportunity to help others, then that's a really easy yes. And out of that yes came, well, we're also doing this, and then what about that? And then it's like, yes, like all in. So it's definitely came from a place of wanting to contribute, and of course a passion for the Latino community, and being a Latina, also a passion for lovely ladies like my partner in crime here, Rebecca, who is also part of eXp Latino and just like an integral part. So Rebecca, I'm going to hand it over to you to introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself and tell us about why you got involved in eXp Latino.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. And honestly, let me see. I've been in the real estate industry for about 17 years, and I originally started working with another organization called NAREP, and they are the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And it was near and dear to my heart because as I'm a student, always looking to grow, right? And I'm always looking to see who I can help. And this organization helped me to kind of develop those skills to be able to reach out to other Latino agents. And when I made my transition into eXp Realty and I saw this opportunity to work with eXp Latino, I felt like this was definitely something that I wanted to be a part of. I love being able to help lead, inspire, impact other agents. And I'm looking to see how I can help them do the same in their communities. And so this is just a beautiful opportunity to continue doing that and helping other agents grow their business.
I love that. And guys, we're joined by a special guest here. Joseph, representing eXp Latino, is also here with us today. We're going around the room and just introducing ourselves and how we came to find ourselves as members of eXp Latino. Do you want to give us a little background about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. And I was able to hear the contributions from Rosie and Rebecca, two amazing leaders, and certainly two amazing women that I tremendously look up to. But so I was introduced to eXp Latino a little over a year and a half now, and there was a little bit of restructuring, reorganization that was happening, and Rosie had invited me to a conversation and introduced me to Rebecca and Veronica, who's not here with us today. But I quickly seen just an immense opportunity to be able to collaborate and network with some amazing leadership and individuals in this company at eXp Realty and throughout this organization, and how to come together as a family to create culture and an impact that was attributing to higher sales opportunities, education on our culture and how we could just align with just amazing human beings, both in the real estate world and in our communities. So I'm super happy to be a part of it.
We're glad to have you here. And you mentioned Veronica Figueroa. She's not here with us today, but I would encourage anybody, if you want to know more about Veronica, to go and find her on social media, to go look up some of her opportunities where she's spoken on YouTube. She's one of the most engaging speakers we have at the company, and also, just throwing it out there, one of the most powerful real estate agents in the country. So Veronica is worth an investment of your time to go and follow a little bit. I also want to acknowledge why we're here today. So I just want to see what you guys' thoughts are about Hispanic Heritage Month. Why is it important today in 2023 for us to be really highlighting Hispanic Heritage Month?
Well, I think in particular, we're in the real estate space, right? We're the fastest growing real estate company in history. Definitely, ahead of the curve in terms of technology. We're into AI now and all those amazing things. And so with that same mission of being ahead of the game, the biggest growth and the biggest opportunity inside of real estate as an industry is really servicing the Hispanic community. And inside of many real estate companies, there's always an effort to make sure that there's inclusion of different communities, that there's diversity and whatnot. And, all these initiatives take place, and I admire and applaud all companies that do that. However, here at eXp, we embody diversity. It's not an initiative. It's who we are as a company. And the fact that in our leadership team, our C-suite executives, if my count is correct, we have 4 C-suite executives who are all Latinos and very, very talented and just influential and highly, highly inspirational individuals that are leading our company. And so I'm very proud of the fact that we have a company that not just in just in our words or in our mission statement or whatnot, but really in the body of who we are. We are diverse and we are inclusive of everyone. That being said, this is Hispanic Heritage Month, and so having a focus and an understanding on where the growth is of the market is important. Making sure that all communities understand how to work with Hispanics. We're very much about family. We're very loyal. We take our time sometimes making decisions. But once you're with, once you service a Latino or Latina community, like you're part of the family, we'll adopt you. We don't know if you speak Spanish, don't speak Spanish, that's okay. You've got the right heart, the right spirit, and you're here to contribute. Like we will adopt, every shade and every color. The focus about this month, Hispanic Heritage Month, is really to bring a lot of education to really help our agents learn how to properly present, and also to talk a lot about wealth creation. Wealth creation for the agents inside of our community, inside of the eXp Realty, which we're very, very much passionate about, but also how do we help our communities create wealth? Our clients, businesses, all of those things. I know Rebecca and Joseph both have served and serve on the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, and so I'm sure they can kind of give you a little bit more on the things that have been done in the past, and then also currently doing. So I'm going to hand it over to these 2 individuals to elaborate on that, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So Rebecca, why do you think it's important to focus on Hispanic heritage? Yeah.
So I think this is a beautiful time to celebrate the contributions that Hispanics have done in our culture, but also in our industry. And one of the things, and Rosie, you covered a lot of it, but one of the things that I think is an amazing accomplishment, there aren't too many Hispanic people in C-suite positions. So as I think of eXp Realty, I'm very proud to see that we have 4 Latinos in C-suite positions. So that is a amazing feat, because I believe we're the only ones right now in the United States, at least. I don't know, perhaps in the world, that have that. So we have Michael Valdez, Leo Parejas, Tristan Ahumada. The third one is escaping me, but this is an amazing accomplishment, and we're so proud of that. And we're also proud of many other of our agents who are making big strides. We're giving them the playbook to be able to go out and present these eXp Latino events, to be able to continue impacting and elevating their communities. So that's a few of the things that I'm very proud of, and why I think we should celebrate during Hispanic Heritage Month. Joseph?
Absolutely. And just to kind of echo what Rosie and both Rebecca shared, one thing that I'm really passionate about, both especially here at eXp Latino, but also in our rep forums, is just bringing awareness, right? Just bringing awareness to our communities about the impact that Latinos, have, not just in real estate, but in a multitude of different industries. There's a lot of tremendous leaders across the board that are, creating change and bringing, again, this awareness that the stereotypes that have previously existed are no longer, stereotypes that should be strongly considered. And we have leadership in this company, within our ranks, amongst our agents, that are leading the forefront in the real estate industry. And I think that speaks volumes about the leadership that we have, and the leaders that we'll be bringing forward in the future. So I think that awareness is something that we're very proud of.
Yeah, it's fantastic too, when we're talking about these four individuals that sit in our C-suite and represent the Latino background. These aren't just seat fillers that are diversity hires. Like, we're talking about, these aren't just leaders in our company. These are industry leaders. I look at Michael Valdez as someone that's going to change this industry forever, right? And the fact that we're sitting here today on a diversity, equity, and inclusion podcast, the reason we have a diversity, equity, and inclusion department is Michael Valdez, right? He hired me for this role, right? So I owe a lot to that man, and model myself after him, and I think there also is a lot to be said in Hispanic Heritage Month about allyship, and what people who don't come from Hispanic heritage backgrounds can learn from those who are, right? So this is a month when I would encourage folks to join eXp Latino, to check out your content and see what you can learn, particularly if you're not someone of Latino background. Because for me, I come from a background where I have a certain set of skills and a certain mindset that was baked into me from the time I was a young boy, that's different from someone from a different background, right? So the way that we come to the solution, even if we come to the same solution, the way that we write out our math is different. So it's important to go and learn how other people are getting to the big solutions, so that you can learn how to adjust your thought process and just be the best of all worlds. It's a way to be where diversity, equity, and inclusion really speaks to action of making you a more effective business person, right? So we really encourage that. So for Hispanic Heritage Month, I'm happy to say we're bringing back the Hispanic Heritage Library in eXp World. And beyond that, I know eXp Latino is going to be offering some other really great stuff. Do you guys want to give us a preview of what you're going to be offering?
Absolutely. We're so excited. One is that we had an opportunity last year to highlight the individuals that were on the NAREP Top 250. These are top agents and teams across the country. And so we're definitely bringing that back, because we want to highlight the accomplishments of all of those agents that have become leaders in their industry, through servicing, clients and growing their business. So look out for that. You've probably seen some of that already on the social channels, and these are the people we love. This is part of the family, and we'd love for, again, like you said, other people to come and join us. We don't care, where exactly you came from. We just care that you're here and you're celebrating with us. And I think that's part of our culture, Cody, because in the Latino community, we have We have all shades and all colors, literally. We've got people that are blonde hair, blue eyes. We have dark skin. We have little. We have tall. We have big. We have different languages. Like we're probably, I would say, one of the most diverse just inside of our heritage. We've got so much diversity where if you're speaking to someone, you're not going to always understand what they're saying because they've got even, Rebecca, Puerto Rico, Mexico, like sometimes she says things like, well, what is that? And we're teaching each other. And like you said, when we surround ourselves with people of different backgrounds and cultures, we grow not just in business, but we grow as individuals. So wanted to, highlight that. The other thing is that some of our amazing speakers, like, wouldn't you love to know more about how, Leo Pareja, he's absolutely one of the smartest individuals that I've ever met, and so accomplished, and learning more about his background and also all the different things that through eXp as our chief strategy officer, all the strategic moves that the company has taken to help the agents create more production. And so if you, haven't watched it or don't get a chance to, make sure you check out the recording. So highlighting the different individuals. Tristan will be talking about all things marketing, AI, all of, all the technology side. And Patrick O'Neill, he's our COO. O'Neill throws you off because he is also, I think, Irish, and his mother is Hispanic. So at the ringing of the NASDAQ bell, he's like, Rosie. And I'm like, dude, you don't look Latino, right? But that's the thing, he's like, I am. And I'm like, all right, loud and proud, let's go. So those are some of the things that you have seen: the library, the highlighting of our existing members, and then also, the getting to know the leadership and the contribution that they're making inside the company. So those are some of the things. We've got a couple of other things up our sleeve, and I'll let Joseph talk a little bit about something that we've been planning here as a nationwide effort. Oh yes.
Oh boy.
We're not just an initiative, we are a movement. Somos un movimiento. And so Joseph will talk a little bit about some of the things that we're doing, and then Rebecca will tell us, this is like, West Coast and East Coast coming together to do something amazing. So share a little bit, Joseph.
Absolutely. And again, to circle back on what you had mentioned, Cody, like there's something here for everybody, right? So, and one of the most significant impacts we're going to have is, again, by bringing like cultural, celebrations and events. So, and we're creating this incredible firestorm of collaboration and partnership through our ambassadors. So imagine a place where we have ambassadors in every single state and in every country that are participating in cultural events and having their own events in their regional areas and celebrating, cultures that are maybe specific to what they've been around and what they're aware of, and what's really specific to a region in northeastern United States or California. So that's something that has been happening actually quite organically, but we're just bringing it all into one interface where we're going to be able to have the leadership opportunity to be able to give them insight and guidance and how to be resourceful and make that and have its most impact. And we're actually kicking one off out here on the West Coast, September 22nd. We're going to be having an amazing Hispanic heritage on a yacht function with education and culture and food. So stay tuned for that. We're about to release that information out here shortly. And I know with certainty, Rebecca and Veronica are going to definitely do their East Coast vibe to try to one-up us, because that's just how we live and how we love each other. So that's what you can expect, though, Cody. It's going to be a phenomenal opportunity for everybody in the United States and globally to be able to come together under this one umbrella.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a little bit of a friendly competition.
I love it. And, listen, we've got eXpCon coming up too. And I know you guys will have your turn at the One eXp booth. You turned it out at shareholders, right? That was the best shift of the booth, period. And it was so great because, first off, we got these fantastic T-shirts that are just the best. And let me tell you, when I was working that booth and I put on that T-shirt, and I went from being one person sitting at the booth to having a whole community of representatives of eXp Latino at that booth. And suddenly I've got people putting their arms around me. I've got people speaking Spanish to me. I'm like, I'm part of the family now. Like, it made me feel so special and warm. And I just love that vibe that you guys bring to everything. So we're going to talk about real estate in general now. How does being a member of eXp Latino benefit your career as a real estate agent? We'll just hit that really high level question. Let's start with Rebecca.
All right. So how does it help with I'm sorry, what was it? How does it help what?
How does it help you succeed as a real estate agent to be a member of eXp Latino?
How it helps me succeed as a real estate agent. So honestly, it's really just the satisfaction of giving back to the community, of coming together in that collaborative spirit. I know Rosie and Joseph both mentioned we are like the most diverse. And when you think about that diversity, we have about 19 different Latino countries. So each one of us with our own cultural backgrounds. And when we come together, I look at it like a big arroz con pollo, or you can say like una paella, all right, where you're bringing all these different flavors and marinating them together. And when it cooks up together, it is a nice, beautiful flavor. And we bring the music, and it doesn't even matter. We celebrate each other. And like you said, Cody, we embrace one another. And I embrace other people who are other cultures. I'm like, you today are an honorary Latino. I don't care where you came from. We welcome everyone in. So when you're with us, you really are family. And I think that when you have that level of confidence and that energy and that excitement, you just create better relationships because we're connecting with each other. And so we are the vibe. We bring that vibe, and we are a vibe. And so I think that feeling of family, everyone is going to feel comfortable and warm around, and that's the energy that I like to exude everywhere that I go. And that just helps my business grow, and that helps my business grow.
Piggybacking off of what Rebecca said, because she mentioned relationships, and we all know that this is a relationship business, and we also know that proximity brings opportunity. So one of the amazing things is that a lot of our members, as someone comes into the company, we are a virtual company, and you're trying to figure out like where do you belong and whatnot, and so just walking into our space, you feel like you are at home. You have the culture, you have the community. So just having that community to plug into as a resource, that's one. Two, building those relationships. Just in referrals, we have an exclusive referral channel where, how many times do you have someone like, I need somebody in Spanish, right? Well, just plug into our referral network because, I dare say a good 90% of our members are bilingual, right? And so having the opportunity to receive referrals and also to give referrals and have your client service through, a network that has already been vetted. The education portion, we have educational sessions where we bring leadership and training into, our monthly meetings, and that helps, of course, your business in so many different aspects. And the proximity part, a lot of the people that are in the company have done things, internationally or even nationally. And so just being able to say, hey, so-and-so, just wanted to kind of pick your brain on how do I approach someone who's, Colombian, or I'd like to expand my market into Colombia or to Spain or to Mexico. Just so many ways. The key, Cody, is engagement, plugging in. We're here, open arms, and we've got, the people and the training and the education and the opportunities lined up. It's just about walking in and, and making it your opportunity.
That's it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully said.
Absolutely. The one thing that I would add, Cody, is it's hard to put value on like the human element here, right? And so there's so many agents that operate kind of as lone wolves out there. And here's a space for everybody to be able to come together in sync, where we're able to be there for each other. And of course, it's going to create the business opportunities of, collaboration and community engagement, all these amazing attributes that just come as part of being eXp Latino or eXp1 in general. But the proximity and leadership that they're going to be aligned with is like next level. I mean, where else were you going to be able to be around some of the top teams in real estate with Veronica, or the leadership and that Rosie and Rebecca bring to the table? And for us to be able to unite like that on a monthly basis and weekly basis at times is something that brings tremendous value to our agent community.
That's brilliant. And, you know, this conversation has been so good, and we have moved right through some of the questions that we had prepared. We've already answered. I do have one more, though, and this is, you know, we like to be a storyteller podcast, and I'd like if you guys have any stories of how eXp Latino has positively impacted the Hispanic community. What do you got?
Well, one thing I can tell you is that we've had, you know, just in talking about different stories, I'll talk about the beginning of this group coming together. How this group came together was interestingly with the New Story, right? Where New Story is an amazing organization, again, that builds homes in all over the world, but they were working on building homes in Mexico at the time. Glenn Sanford, who is, you know, our founder, of course, he came forward and said, I would like eXp to, or our company, we're pledging that we're going to help build 100 homes. And during that time, the team that was on board with eXp Latino, very small group at the time, and they said, you know, how can we come together and how can eXp Latino contribute? And our goal was to build 6 homes. And so there was different ideas on how we were going to do that, but Michael Valdez held a meeting, invited, you know, everyone to come forth. You know, the Latino community came forth, and during that meeting, I think we walked away with raising enough funds for 2 or 3, and within a week we met the goal. The beautiful part about that story that I'm sharing with you is that our community, when we're talking about community, our community came forward and donated. You know, agents pulled money out of their pocket, you know, everyone pulled together, and then Glenn Sanford matched every dollar that the entire company, you know, or all the agents pulled together. So why I share that story, it's because when you look at where and why and how different companies start, historically speaking, I always find it very interesting on where you see some of the most successful companies and some of the most successful individuals when it begins from a place that comes from the heart, when it comes from a place of contribution, when it's a community that comes together for a cause outside of themselves or with absolutely no financial gain. You know, that's when you know that the foundation is strong and the roots are long lasting, right? And so that, I think, embodies who we are as a community. We come together, we have, you know, causes that we support, and we're about giving back and pulling everybody with us. So that's what I can share, and that's the reason, Cody, that I was drawn to step in, because when you see other people doing that, you want to be a part of that. We're all going to win. We're all going to win financially. You know, we've got the greatest company in history. We've got tools, AI, technology, production, relationships. You know, however, where's your heart? You know, and what are you plugging into, and what community? Because, you know, you're the average of the 5 people, and I love that I'm surrounded by Joseph, by Rebecca, by, you know, Veronica, you, Cody. You know, met you when you just came on board. So we have something very, very special here, and it's authentic, and it's true, and it's, you know, it's who we are.
Yeah, and what happened with New Story is my favorite thing that's ever happened at this company. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, or otherwise. It's the sort of shining moment that I will be chasing forever in this career. Is how do I do what New Story did for this community or that community? Right? It set a standard for what we can do with charitable giving, with engagement, with C-suite support. It just knocked it out of the park on so many levels that, you know, it's something that we as a company should be so proud of. And I can't wait to see what we do next with that thought process. Anybody else got any stories they'd like to share?
Well, I think, I definitely love that one because it shows that, how much we care. We are a real estate company and we are helping other families, by giving these homes. So it's amazing. But one of the things that I liked also is that, since we have started expanding on this, and I like to think that we are in the people development business as well, right? And we're trying to build leaders. And so we're leaders building leaders. And as we have continued to grow this, we see people coming from all over the United States and from some of our global countries who want to be part of this initiative. They're raising their hands saying, I want to be part of this. And so maybe they didn't have a platform or a community that they could embrace or connect with. And here they have this platform. And so we are coming together, and it's in its infancy. So we're still developing and building on and implementing new things. And so it's exciting to see what we're doing right now and where it will continue to grow from. So that's what I love the most. But it's really just seeing all these agents, and also there's an instant brotherhood just because, you guys are Latinos, you're my family. And the thing is, Cody, you felt it. You don't have to be Latino. we embrace one another anyways. So it's just a beautiful community to come together and just to be able to be active, to encourage one another, to help each other level up, and continue growing our businesses and continue helping families.
Oh, love that. How about you, Joseph?
So I would say that, we've taken like all these amazing, topics that we've spoken about today, and we've actually like put it like into effect, right? And a good example of that is over the last 2 years, we had this mangoes event, right? That just like created this firestorm of conversation. And although it was a great opportunity for us to come and have an amazing time and collaborate with each other, what it really created behind the scenes was empowerment for our agents and everybody that attended. We brought tremendous value by inviting some of the best vendors who are really our partners in business and introduced them to our community. And even after the event, we've had additional conversations with them where they're offering services and value to our agents that have been participating with us in order to enhance their business. So we've already seen a lot of results from that. So aside from putting on like the event for fun and culture and opportunity, it's also created this everlasting effect of empowerment for our agents. So that's what I really love, the impact that we provided.
I love that. And those mangoes events, if you guys never got to go to any of those events, seeing the talent on stage at those events is so great. Like, Michael Valdez is never more on fire speaking than he is on stage at Mangoes, right?
and I'll add, because Rebecca said, we're in our infancy, and honestly, we are. We're just, I don't think we've officially, hit like our official like 2 year, like just a year and change. And in our infancy, we created two of the biggest events that have ever been held inside of a real estate company with a diversity group, with a Latino led, where literally we had over 1,000 people. Like, this is not a little tiny like gathering. We had over 1,000 people, and we had all the groups, all the people, all the agents. And the bigger impact of that story is that this event, the events that we put together, the gatherings that we put together, they were representative of the eXp community, right? Obviously, we hosted it. We invited everyone to come on board, but it was so beautiful to see just all the shades and all the colors and the spirit and the energy of our company in our space, and for us to have had the opportunity and the privilege to have hosted that and have been a part of that. And yes, we're happy that we made a little bit of noise, and so that was kind of like our big shabam. Hey, we're here, yeah, we're just getting started. So you guys got to get ready. And anybody who's out there who hasn't, plugged in yet, you want to jump in now, because, the leaders are growing and the people are raising their hands, and we're very excited about the next chapter of leaders that comes to follow, what we were given the opportunity to begin.
I love that. Listen, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. This was such a great conversation. This is our last podcast episode of September, and we will see you all at eXp Con. Thanks, everybody.
Adios.
Yes. Ciao.
Bye, guys.